So welcome back, learners. In the previous lecture, I have in brief I have explained to you about my entire course. So what we are going to learn and what methodology we are going to follow. So everything I have explained in detail. Now, in this session, so as I already told you, so we will start with the plan. Okay, so now in this session I'm going to take up one plan, and that plan is a plan of a residential building. Okay, so it is a G plus 1 residential building, that is two-story residential building, where the front part of the plan is having the commercial complexes, whereas the back part or the behind part is having the residential building. Now let us see the first and foremost thing, that how we are supposed to study the given plan. Okay, in the previous lecture itself I have explained you that there are two methods usually they follow. So if a client go to a very well established consultancies, definitely there will be an architect as well as an engineer. So with the help of the architect, the client will decide the plan, okay, and then it will come to an engineer, so where he executes the design, and then it will go to the site where site engineer will execute the excavation as well as the construction. Otherwise, if it is not in any well-established consultancy, then the client will directly come to an engineer, where engineer itself has to plan, and he has to design, and he has to execute. And the one more thing that I have already made you very clear in the previous lecture, that sometimes the architect may give you the positions of beams and columns, sometimes they may not give. Now I already told you that I'm going to take 2 to 3 plans. So I have in the first plan that what I'm going to take, the positions of the beams and columns has been given. So now let us take that plan and let us try to understand how we are supposed to read that. Okay, now if you look at this, so this is the simple residential building I have taken. Okay, so this is the plan of the residential building. You can see this is a first ground floor residential building, and this is the first floor residential building. Okay, now let us see the ground floor residential building plan, what they have given to you. Okay, yes, and you can see here, students, the whatever this line is there, this is the boundary line. You can see here this line, whatever I have, if you want I'll just highlight this. So this lines, okay, these lines, they are the boundary lines. Okay, so these are the boundary lines. So keep it in mind, students, whenever the plan is going to be designed, okay, so whenever the plan is going to be designed, the first and the foremost step of an engineer is to go to that corresponding site. Okay, is to go to the corresponding site. The person or the engineer, or if the site engineer is present, either he or the structural engineer itself may have to go to the site. So then what you are supposed to do in site? You are supposed to note down the boundary of the given plot. Okay, so especially when it comes to the metropolitan cities, this issue plays a very important role. If you go to the rural areas, so you may have an ample amount of lands available, but when it comes to the metropolitan cities, that is urban areas, so even an inch of land has a golden value. Therefore, the clients will come in a mindset that even a small inch of land should not be waste. Okay, that is an actually a good characteristic of an excellent structural or an engineer. Okay, the more and more land if you are wasting, it indicates that you are not good in planning. Okay, you know, in Bangalore cities and or in any metropolitan cities, the square feet will be around 5,000, 6,000, up to 10,000 square feet will be there. So if you are wasting even a single feet of land, it costs you a very huge loss. So therefore, before you start the plan, if you itself are making a plan, your first duty is you are supposed to go to the site and you should make a boundary of your land. It means if I am seeing this, you can see this dotted line. So at any cost, my building should not go beyond the boundary. Not only that, students, when I say that if my building should not go beyond this boundary means even your foundations should not go or it should not exceed these lines. You have to decide the positions of the columns in such a way that when you excavate and when you put the footings, they should not go beyond these lines, whatever I have selected, no, that lines. Definitely that problem will come because if I, for example, if I take this column, okay, let us take this column itself for the sake of understanding. I'm going to consider this column. When I consider this column, let us assume that after analyzing and all, I'm having an 2000 kilonewton load coming on that column. Now, based on the SBC of the soil, what you have calculated, you made a design that, and when the design is done, you came to know that you got an rectangular isolated footing of 6 feet by 6 feet. Okay, so 6 feet in the horizontal direction, 6 feet in the vertical direction. So you got an footing size of 6 feet by 6 feet. Now, if you just check here, students, right, I'll just make you understand very clearly. I'm just going to delete this. What I'll do, I'll just draw the center line, okay, from here to here. Okay, I'm just drawing the center line. Okay, now this is my center of the column. You know, this is my boundary. Whatever you do, your anything should not go beyond this boundary. Now from here, if I draw a line, okay, if I draw a line of 6 feet, okay, if I draw a line of 6 feet, see here, students, okay, if I draw a line of 6 feet, uh, then from center your projection of the footing will be 3 feet, right? So therefore if you draw a line of 3 feet, right, you can see it is not going beyond the boundary. In case if the load is more, in case if the load is more, so the size of the footings will be higher. If it is of 5 feet or 6 feet, then what will happen? Your footing will go beyond the boundary, which is not at all acceptable. Therefore, the first and foremost step is once you decide the positions of the column, if they have not given, or if they have given after calculating the dimensions of the footing, you have to make sure that all the footings, all the building structures, everything lies within the boundary. That is the first important thing that you should keep it in mind. Otherwise, what will happen? The problem will come when you have the excavation. How you can excavate? If you are going beyond the boundary, then next to the boundary there will be another building. How can you do the excavation? Which is impossible. There comes the problem. Therefore, you have to keep the boundary conditions very strictly. After that, there is one more important parameter that you should keep it in mind is your building should not start exactly from the boundary. Why is it so? For example, you can see here, this is my boundary line. Okay, here this side, you're towards your right side, this is my boundary line. This is my boundary line to the left side, this is my boundary line to the right side. Now, my building should not start exactly from the boundary. If you see the guidelines in each and every area, your building should start after leaving some certain gap. What we call that as we call that gap as setback. For example, you can see here my boundary, my line, my building has been started from here and my boundary is here. You can see this much distance I have given. What may be that by distance? You can see here I have left a distance of 2 feet. Okay, I have left a distance of 2 feet. It means I should not start the construction of the building exactly from the boundary line. The one reason is in order to have the proper foundation, because if you start from here itself, definitely your foundation will go beyond the boundary, and here itself you may have the another building, which is not possible. The another one more important reason why you are supposed to give the setback is, you can see here if this is the boundary, the another building may be here. If you skip it here, what will happen? There will be an problem to the privacy. Okay, so the two residential buildings or maybe the two any buildings, if they are very close, then definitely it will create a problem of privacy. Not only that, major problem is it creates the ventilation problem. If you have any room here, you won't get sufficient sunlight and you won't get sufficient air, because if you are building from is from here, then definitely the neighbor who is having a plan, definitely even he won't also leave any setback, even he'll start the construction from here only. Therefore, maximum of half feet or 1 feet there will be a gap between the two external walls of the building, which leads to the poor circulation. Okay, you can see in many metropolitan cities, in order to save that money also, without any setback they will construct between the two buildings. Okay, therefore when you go to the tops or when you are in the bottom floors, you never get any kind of circulation. It will be always, it will be damp. Okay, so it leads to the lot of mosquitoes, no sunlight will be there, so such kind of many issues will come. Therefore you have to always maintain the setback distance. Okay, and how much the setback distance you have to maintain, usually it varies from the rules, that is from district to district, that scheduled rates or the rules will be, the general guidelines will be there. Usually it varies, but on an average you are supposed to maintain an at least 2 to 2.5 feet setback from the boundary line, both the buildings. For example, if this line is having the common boundary, any building here has to leave a setback of 2 to 2.5 feet. Any building here has to give a setback of 2 to 2.5 feet. Therefore, from external wall of this building to external wall of this building, you have an almost 4 to 5 feet gap, which will provide you the sufficient ventilation. Okay, that is the second point you should keep it in mind. So the first thing is boundary, nothing should go beyond the boundary. Now let us see what kind of problems that we have. But initially, now this is my boundary lines. Okay, okay, yes, so this is my boundary lines. And one more thing, keep it in mind, learners, the boundary may not always be of exactly the straight lines. Okay, you can see here the boundary is little bit inclined. Here the distance is less, here the distance is more. Okay, okay. Once the boundary is set, after visiting the site, then what you can do, you can start planning. Okay, so now let us assume that the architect has done a very good plan. Now in this plan, whatever I have taken, the positions of the beams and columns has been given. Okay, the positions of the beams and columns has been given. Okay, yes. Now after this, what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to start reading the plan. Now the problem that what I have taken is a ground floor and a first floor. As I already told, this area, whatever this area, it is of completely the residential part. You can see here, you have a utility here, you have a bedroom here, you have a kitchen here, Okay, you have an attached bathroom, you have dining here, you have another bedroom, you have puja room, then you have general bathroom. Then you can see here there is a living room. Okay, living hall. Then again you have one bedroom, and here is the sit out, that is the main door entrance is there. It means from here to somewhere here you have a residential building. If you see in the front, they have told shop number 1. It means at the front you have a shop. Okay, at the front you have a shop, and at the back you have a residential building. That is what the plan is. Right, now since this is a ground floor plan, so in the ground floor to the left you have a shop. Okay, so now how you are supposed to read? Now you can see here this is ground floor. Okay, so definitely this will be your boundary. So any person will enter here. If you enter here, at the ground level itself you have a shop. Okay, at the ground level itself you have a shop here. At the ground level itself you have a shop. Here they have kept the entire area for the parking. Okay, they have kept the entire area for the parking. You can see the parking distance is 12 feet and it is 14 feet 6 inches. Okay, keep it in mind, students. When it comes to the units, practically nobody goes in terms of meters. Usually meters, centimeters, everything will be, they are the engineering units where we study. But when you go to the practical sites, they say everything in terms of feet, inches. So therefore, you should be very thorough with the feet and inches units also. Okay. Now, so this is the parking. So to be frank, it is of very less dimension. And one more thing, the most important thing, how we are supposed to read it. Okay, I'll tell you. Now, this is the shop. Now, this is the parking area. Okay, so now, after this, you have a step here. So, if you climb the step like this and if you go like this, so there it comes the sit out. Okay, there it comes the sit out. Right? So, this is the sit out and this is the main door entrance. Okay, so when you enter to the main door, you have a living hall here and you have a bedroom here. Okay, you have a bedroom here. Then similarly, if you go like this from the living home, you will go to the dining hall here, and here you have another bedroom, and here itself you have a puja room. Then here you have a general bathroom. Okay, then next to the dining hall you have a kitchen, and next to the kitchen you have an utility. There you have another bedroom with the attached bathroom. Okay, now one of the most important thing is how we are supposed to read the dimensions. This is most important, how we are supposed to read. Keep it in mind, the first dimension whatever you can see here, that is 9 feet 9 inches, so they represents horizontal distance. Okay, they represents horizontal distance, and this 12 feet and 10.5 inches, they represents vertical. The first dimension will always be horizontal. The second dimension will always be vertical. Okay, again I am repeating. The first dimension will always be horizontal. The second dimension will always be vertical. And one more thing, whatever the dimension they give here, they are all inner to inner dimension. That is from the inside face of the column to the outside face of the column. Okay, for example, I'll just show here. Okay, what I'll do, I'm going to draw one line. Okay, then I'm using an offset. I'll show you one. Okay, yes, then again offset. Yes, now you can see here, I'm just drawing the lines here like this. Okay, I'm just drawing the lines here. Okay, now if you see here, this is my wall, this is my wall. Whatever the dimension they give the dimension inner to inner. That is from here to here. Okay, the dimension whatever they are going to give, so they give from here to here. Inner dimensions only. The thickness of the wall will not be considered. Whatever the dimension they give in the plan here, whatever these dimension, they are all inner to inner dimension. That is from inner face of the wall to another side of the inner face of the wall. They never give the outer to outer dimension or the center line dimensions. Okay. So now, for example, if you see this, they have given 9 feet 4.5 inches. So if you take from here, okay, that is from here to here, you can see approximately it is coming 9 feet 5 inches. Okay, that is your horizontal dimension. You can see this dimension, and vertical dimension they have told 12. You can see from here to, okay, from here approximately it is coming 11 feet 8 inches, that is 12 feet. So therefore the first dimension will be horizontal, the second dimension will be vertical. Okay, and the dimensions whatever they have given, they are inner to inner dimension. Yes, okay. Now this is the ground floor plan, and you can see here in this plan they have marked into here. It means this area we are not supposed to utilize. So it is all because of the client's requirement. So there may be some areas where some kind of pujas can be carried out there. Okay, that's why it is very clearly shown that so nothing should be constructed in this area. Okay, so nothing should be constructed in this area. Okay, yes. So this is the ground floor plan. Now, when it comes to the first floor plan, students, you can see here there is no change in the residential building. Same. Okay, so utility is utility here, bedroom is bedroom here, kitchen is kitchen here. So then attached bathroom, dining, bedroom, puja, general bathroom, then living. So then everything is same. Okay, so everything is same, but small changes they have done. What is that? They have removed this bedroom, and they made entire this as an another shop. Okay, they made entire this as another shop, and this is the set out. Here is the another shop. This is in the first floor, therefore there is no parking. Here you have two shops, but in the ground floor plan you have only one shop, and this they have kept for the parking. Okay, yes. So this is the general plan. I hope you understood that. There is nothing much complicated in reading the plan. So once you thoroughly understand the plan, okay, so what is your next step? Your next step is making the center line drawings. Okay, here I already told they have given the positions of the beams and column. Okay, they have given the positions of the beams and column, right? So therefore here there is no need to decide the positions of beams and columns. Okay, yes. Now let us, once you understand the plan thoroughly, the next step is you have to start drawing the center lines. Okay, you are supposed to start drawing the center lines. Right. Now, whenever you want to draw the center line, students, there should not be any other things in the plan. Okay, you are supposed to have only the columns. You are supposed to have only the columns, no changes. You are supposed to have only the columns, so no changes at all. Okay, except that nothing should be there. Therefore, what I will do is, since there is a small changes between, okay, since there is a small changes between the top floor plan, that is ground floor plan, and the first floor plan, but you can see here students, there will always be only change in the positions of the beams, but there will not be any change in the positions of the columns. Okay, there will not be any change. You can see here same positions of columns here also, here also. Therefore there is no, because you cannot change the positions of columns, only beam position will be changed, because the plan is going to change from floor to floor. Now I wanted to start the center lines of the columns I have to draw. So for that, what I will do, I'll just select this entire drawing. Okay, I'll just delete this. I'll just select this entire drawing. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just select this entire drawing like this. I'll take an option of copy. Okay. Enter. Then I'll just give me a minute. Copy. Yeah. Enter. Yes. I'll just, sorry. Yeah. I have brought like this. Okay, because this is my original plan. Whatever the changes you do, you are not supposed to change the original plan. So therefore I have made a copy of the ground floor. I have brought it here. Okay, so now I already told you I need only the columns. I don't want anything. Therefore, whatever extra things are there, you can start deleting. Let the boundary be there as it is. So whatever remaining thing is there, you can start removing, because I need only the positions of columns. I don't want anything. I need only the column positions. Therefore, whatever remaining part is there, you can remove them like this. Okay, you can remove like this. You can remove except the columns. Okay, yes. So now let us do as it is, so that it will be very clear to you also. Yes, I'm just removing all other things. Okay, yes, yes, I'm just holding only the positions of columns, except that nothing I'm holding. Yes, so these things I'm removing. Okay, yes, yeah, see here. Yeah, yes, yes. So like this, I'm removing. Yeah, you can see I'm removing all the other components except columns. I'm just keeping the columns there. Other than that, I'm removing everything. Yes. So I have removed everything. I have just only the column positions. Right. So once the column positions are done, so what I am supposed to do, I am supposed to mark the center line of the columns like this. Okay. I'm supposed to draw the center line of the columns like this. I'm supposed to draw the center line. Okay. Yes. So I'm drawing the center line of the columns. Right. Okay. That is my second step. So what I have done, first I have taken the ground floor plan, I copied, then except the column positions I removed everything. Okay, except column positions I removed everything. Yes, so then after removing the column, after removing everything except column positions, now I am choosing the center of each columns. Okay, I'm choosing the center of each columns. Right. Okay. Yes, I'm choosing the center of each columns like this. Okay. Yes. So like this, I'm choosing the center. Okay. So like this, what I have to do, I have to draw the center of each columns. Okay. So now we will stop here. In the next lecture, so once the center of each columns is done, once the center of each column is done, so what is my next step? I told you I have to draw the center lines of the columns, both horizontally and vertically. While doing that, what are the things should be kept in mind? That we will discuss in the next lecture. Thank you, students.